Alright guys, I have to talk about stuff because I have a camera on and that's what I do when I have cameras on. Alright, so I'm making some sausage in here and I'm gonna mix it with some tomatoes that I'll put in the blender and make like a sauce out of them. And I'll mix them with some spices and stuff and Parmesan cheese. And also I have some of this left over too that I'm gonna use in the sauce. My chicken stuff that I made, so I made way too much of it, and so this is what I have left, and one of them is rice and one of them is chicken. I made them, I guess, like 5 or 6 days ago, so I think they're dead now. Not dead, done, spoiled. So I ate about half of it, so I have to make less food. That's what I'm learning. But yeah, I'm kind of rushed right now because I have to figure out this Bitcoin market stuff today because and I have to talk about it because I want to tell you guys what's happening. So basically, one second. There's gonna be, like, we already see it right now today. We have Ethereum's prices at like 164, so went up 16% since in the last 24 hours. These prices, they're gonna drop, and also my camera is gonna drop. What did I do here? All right, I don't know what the hell I just made. Hopefully, like, the rice that's in here should soak up some of the water, and the rest should evaporate and all that, so it should be okay. And I also have a fucking gigantic blender full of extra sauce. But yeah, we'll just leave that to simmer for now. And here's our end result. I don't know how it tastes. Probably just tastes like tomatoes and rice and sausages. But yeah, I'm not even hungry right now to try it. I have to figure out this fucking stock shit. Okay guys, so I apologize for this camera angle. It's what we're working with right now. But as you can see, this is up to like a week ago. This was so on the weekends they don't report numbers, or they didn't before. Now they're starting to do it. This is CDC. This is the numbers CDC reports my state, Pennsylvania, from having. This is the numbers Pennsylvania Health reports as Pennsylvania having. So you can already see right here, like, CDC is behind Pennsylvania by a day, and I assume like every other state is a day behind too. So we don't really need to go by this, but that just shows that percent change in my state, my county, and numbers of death in my county. So as we can see, starting the weekend of March 30th, so what's that, a week ago right now, we were doing 114%, 119% coming back from weekends. We dropped down to 65. This is overall for the world. So that's a good thing. That shows the social distancing is working. We also see since then the numbers dropping: 16%, 13, 14, 12, 15, 9, 8. So that's a good thing. My state isn't doing as good as the rest of the world. We were like 26, 38, 39, 44. And then we got down like 20, 18, 19, 20, 42%, 14 and 12. And then in my county, it's kind of ranges from 25% to 10%, around there. So what I want to talk about in this video, I'll just show you guys my notes here. is that the numbers dropping does not mean that things are better. It's not a reason to get your hopes up. And one of the things that this is important to me is with cryptocurrency and with the stock market and things like that, is that people are going to start taking all this hope to be like, oh, things are getting better, and then start buying into the market. And you're going to lose a ton of money if you do that, because it's false hope. It's the only reason these numbers are getting better is because of this social distancing. The economy's not going to get back to normal, because after the social distancing stops, when people let their guards down, the cases are just going to start climbing up again. So yeah, the numbers aren't going down because of the social. Numbers are going down because of the social distancing, not because there's any other reason for hope. It's only because of the social distancing. Once the social distancing stops, then we end up in this situation again. There's two true reasons to let your guard down and to get back to normal. The first one being a vaccine is created for COVID-19, and this will make people feel safer to return to work and their normal lives. But this is likely 2 years away, is my guess. Other people guess a year and a half or so. I think at least 2 years. And then there's also the distribution of this and being able to buy it and being able to actually get the vaccine and everything. Assuming all goes well, 2 years is what I think. So that once a vaccine is created, then people are going to be like, okay, I'll go back to work. I'll start being normal again, going back to normal, because I'm not going to be afraid of getting this COVID-19 because there's a vaccine. So I'll just get the vaccine and then go on my merry way and things will be normal. That's 2 years away. So number two, the next reason that you can let your guard down, or when you should be able to let your guard down, and I'm going to talk about how this is actually a false reason, but is once the numbers start dropping, then hospitals will have more resources, will have more space, more time to take care of people. They'll have more equipment and more ventilators, more people on staff that aren't fucking going out of their minds working so much. Combined with the lower cases putting less strain on the healthcare system. People may think that this is reason to return to normal life because they're more likely to be taken care of and survive. This is what I was thinking the other day, that once the cases drop, people will be like, oh, well, I'll go out, I'll weather the storm, and I won't care about catching COVID-19 because the hospitals will just take care of me. It'll be fine. Things are back to normal. The thing is, though, the reason I don't think this is the best reason to assume normal life is because we don't know if there's long-term permanent health effects for COVID-19. So we don't know, say that you catch COVID-19, say you get really sick, we don't know if there's going to be permanent lung damage, permanent immune system damage, or anything like that. We also don't know how about immunity after contracting the disease. So we don't know if people even get immune to this, how long the immunity lasts, how fast the virus mutates to circumvent the immunity. These are things we don't know. I'm not even sure if we know if the body does develop an immunity yet. I know I've seen cases of people who have contracted this twice already. We also don't know if this disease can lay dormant in people like how HIV does. So you can be completely asymptomatic and the virus will be dormant, but you'll still be contagious and giving it to other people. This actually goes down. There's a Dr. John Campbell on YouTube, which I've been watching, which I don't really agree with some of the stuff that he says. I think some of it's kind of short-sighted, the stuff that he's saying now. A couple days ago, a week ago, a month ago, he was pretty good, but now a little bit iffy. But he was saying that Dr. Fauci on the coronavirus task force with Donald Trump was saying that 50% of positive cases are asymptomatic. So this means this could go with the HIV thing where I said where the disease could lay dormant in people while they're still infectious. This 50% of being asymptomatic can mean that. So I think right now that we're seeing people are seeing the hope. People are getting hopeful because they see the numbers go down. However, and then they think that the economy will return fairly soon. But like I said, I think that's false hope, because the only reason the numbers are going down is because of social distancing. Once the social distancing is not being done anymore, once people stop taking care of letting their guard down and all that, once that happens, I think this is just going to ramp up again. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully hospitals will be able to manage us by then, but still we don't know the long-term effects of this. So lastly, before I go for this video, and one of the reasons this is important is because, like I probably said already, is the stock market and stuff like that. People are going to lose a lot of money. So if you, what I'm going to do is sell some stuff as the prices go up. I'm going to be selling stuff, some Ethereum. This way I have money to last for the whole year without needing to sell anything, because if the markets crash, then I'm just going to be selling at a lower price. And this way, if I sell now, then I can buy back in the future. So this is a text that I sent on March 31st. So the day after I noticed the first drop in these numbers, I sent this to one of my friends. I said, so I was telling him like about the numbers or whatever, and he's like, thanks for the good news, glad to hear something good. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's good that rates are going down, but that's only because of the distancing stuff we're doing, which gives time for hospitals to prepare and us to learn more about the virus. It could increase again if people go back to work and aren't being safe with cleaning and distancing. But at that point, though, hopefully hospitals will be prepared to handle the people getting sick. And hopefully during the downtime, people work on building their immune systems to fight the virus and keep the effects going down and all that. However, I still don't know if people develop immunity after getting sick. I've seen reports of people getting it twice. If it's anything like HIV, which I've seen research papers suggesting HIV was spliced into the virus, we're not totally sure about that now. I have seen papers saying that it was like showing that it was like man-made, with like research papers dating back to like 2008, 2010, showing SARS and HIV, a part of HIV being spliced into SARS. Now there's also another guy on YouTube who made a video saying that it might be likely that Chinese researchers they went out into caves somewhere like 900 kilometers away from Wuhan to study bats. I'll talk about this in another video, actually, even though you can watch this guy's video on YouTube about it. I think his name's like Lao Y86 or something. Yeah, so it might have just came from bats and not be man-made or whatever, like how HIV works. Nor do we know if the virus leaves permanent damage in people. These are things I want to know before feeling safe to go back to normal. So yeah, I still think it's going to be a long road ahead, and there's going to be a flare-up because people are going to see these numbers and get hope. And even like Donald Trump in these task force daily conferences is like giving hope and everything, which, yeah, there is hope, but don't take that as false hope that you can just get back to normal and everything, because it's very risky to do that at this point.